let's get started. You'll notice that things are a little different for those of you who've been to other Firewall meetings. We have some signs on the table. This is if you have additional questions for any of our announcers or speakers. You can scan the room, find them quickly, and go to them. Most of our speakers have flyers, and they're either on the table or out in the lobby, so you can pick them up. The idea is that it's not school, you don't have to take notes, but if you want more detail, it's a large group, so we're going to try to keep the questions to one or two. Having said that, we got some feedback last month. After, what, a year and 3/4 of meeting at Firewall, we listened to you, like our representatives. We listened to you and you said, we need more time to ask questions, and we're having a hard time figuring out who to talk to after the meeting. So hopefully those two issues will be addressed today. The questions, we're going to allow 2 questions for every one of the 5-minute speakers that comes up here. Please make it a real question and not a statement. Remember, we're not going to reduce this to a gripe session. This is going to be an information session so you can figure out how to go out there and make the world a better place. Speaking of not better places, we have Todd Blanche, who was named the 88th Attorney General. Wasn't that lovely for the Department of Justice? This, if you don't know, is the man who moved Ghislaine Maxwell to the Cushy prison. So, you know, just a couple things that are on the top of my mind. Iran is still in control of the Strait of Hormuz. And they have said they are going to hold it until you know who is out of office. So there you go. If Commerce isn't screaming at the White House over that, I don't know what to say. And then, sort of hidden in the news cycle that I thought was kind of interesting, there's a U.S. company called Greenland Energy. And what they did is they went to northern Greenland and they dropped a whole bunch of containers. And did they get permission? No, they did not. The people of Greenland are livid about this because they think they're going to drill for oil, even though the people of Greenland in 2021 had a ban on future oil exploration. So there you go. So let's have some good news, because we come here to restore our soul. Abdul El-Sayed ran a progressive campaign in Michigan for state Democratic candidate for Senate, and he won. This goes to my theory of the pendulum swinging. We have swung far to the right, and all of these progressive candidates are now picking up votes. Why? Because people have had enough. So tell your friends to get out and vote. Abdul El-Sayed, by the way, ran on a campaign of Medicare for all and get the bucks out of politics, ending corruption. Works for me. On a more humorous note, the San Antonio Way Museum, it's a Tucson wax museum, removed their Trump figure. And their reason is absolutely, it's the most enjoyable thing I've ever heard. The visitors kept punching it. So apparently, it sustained multiple beatings. Okay, and let's have a moment of silence for Mike Lindell, the My Pillow guy, who lost the Minnesota GOP primary. So even the Republicans have had enough of this craziness. So that's all that's new in the last month. Every month they do this, and every month the crazy train just goes right off the rails. Okay, now to the people who are going to put the train back on the rails. And we'll start out with Julie Utz, who's going to talk to you about getting the vote out, which is the single most important thing we need to be doing here.
Thank you, Diane. Let's give her a hand because she puts this out. I'm Julie with Main Street Movement. A lot of you know who I am, and I'm glad to see you all here. And today I'm talking about Get the Vote Out statewide Bridge Brigade initiative. And if you've ever been to the Cleveland Street or Genesee Street overpasses lately, you've seen the Western New York Bridge Brigade and what they can do. Every 2 weeks, sometimes even more, rain or shine, they show up to reach thousands of drivers right where they are. Literal captive audience full of them. Check out westernnewyorkbridgebrigade.org for their upcoming dates. But now we're taking that local energy and taking it statewide. Main Street Movement, in partnership with Western New York Bridge Brigade and other statewide organizations, are proud to man the local overpass bridges. From the Pennsylvania border all the way through Batavia, Rochester, Syracuse, and beyond, I found out last night it's actually going north of the Catskills. We are bridging New York State together with one cohesive vital message. There are over 42 organizations in over 50 locations. So, look at what's at stake. These upcoming midterms are absolutely imperative if we want to bring our country back on the right path. Everyday working people have had enough, but sitting back and watching isn't going to fix it. We have to turn frustration into action and action into votes. So that's why we're backing this massive effort with 4 key Saturdays leading up to the election day. August 29th, September 12th, October 10th, October 31st. Yes, on Halloween, come in costume, bring your energy, and let's make a scene on these overpasses. We need volunteers to stand with us and hold banners with clear, sharp messages like, had enough? Vote. Stop the chaos? Vote. For our kids? Vote. Among others, for every driver on the New York State Thruway to C. So we need to wake people up and get them to the polling places, but we can't do it without you and without volunteers. So let's bridge the gap, let's reach every driver, and let's get the vote out. I have a sign-up sheet, a QR code. We can get you signed up. There are bridges, like I said, from the Pennsylvania border beyond. We have 11 bridges in this area that we're banning. We are working with the Western New York Bridge Brigade, Kathleen King, Mimi, who couldn't be here, and we just really need people to come and help us get this message out. So thank you, and come see me after. And like I said, we have the QR code, we have the bridges, and I'm going to invite Kathleen to come up just to piggyback off of this a little bit, but thank you for the time.
I'm going to channel my inner Joe Biden. This is a big effing deal. So it's a long span, it's a lot of people. So if you can help, please help. It's not hard, please help.
I'm sorry. I forgot to mention it's from 1 to 2:30. It's only
Yes.
an hour and a half of time, and the message is right up there.
Oh, yeah, we had 2 questions. I forgot.
I forgot about that too.
The reason I'm standing here though is that not only is there the GOTV, but I am more for the Geese campaign in the 23rd, and there is nothing to say that other people can't put out other signs besides just the indivisible signs. So I'm going to have a party at my house, and if you're interested in making some signs, which will be the letter kind of signs for the Aaron Geese campaign, it's on the sheet as well, just get a hold of me.
I will question.
Yes, you have a question.
Yes.
I heard that your group was stopped by the police and that you were told that you were not allowed to do what you were doing.
I will, I'm gonna.
That seems like worthy of money.
Yes, thank you, Jen. I will answer that. That actually has happened on the Cleveland or the Genesee bridges on the Friday overpasses. It is not that we're not allowed to do it. It is public space, just like any other protest. We cannot attack attach things to the fencing. That is not legal. But the other thing, the police do come out if they get a complaint, if someone comes up and says to them, this is happening, they shouldn't be there, we're complaining. The police have to show up. It doesn't mean the police are against us, it just means they got a call. So, no, do not be afraid of that. We will also have bridge captains on each bridge to handle anything like that. Thank you. I have one more question if anyone has anything. No? Okay, great. I'll be over here if anyone wants to sign up. Thank you.
Wonderful. And you're going to keep hearing get out the vote because there is nothing more important. Now I'm going to bring up Carrie Reynolds. And Carrie is going to talk about the Evict ICE campaign. And you're going to put this sign in front of you.
So, a couple of different things. So I have, thanks. So I have a petition here to evict ICE from 250 Delaware. Some of you have already signed. I will be here afterwards, and feel free to come up and sign this petition. ICE, their lease at the Uniland building at 250 Delaware, which is also the Westin Hotel, their lease is up in March. And so our group is trying to convince the Montante family to not renew that lease, to slow ICE down by making them move, by making them pack up, by making them, and also by making them aware that we do not want them in Buffalo. So please come and sign this. We meet every Tuesday at 4:30. We do an hour's protest, 4:30 to 5:30, just to let them know that we know what's going on in that building, and to let the people who are staying in the Westin know that on the 7th floor, above their suites, there's detention happening. There's plans for all of Western New York. It's the regional office for ICE in this area. So there's also on Monday a 4:30 protest at the corner of Kenny Park and Colvin Parkway. This is where there is a Border Patrol office where they also detain people. And we meet there once a month. Depends, not always the same day, but always 4:30 to 6. So we enjoy you to come this Monday at 4:30 and protest out there against what's going on in that facility in Tonawanda. I just would also like to mention the bird number. Does everybody have that number? See something, say something. It's 716-222-2190. Put it in your phone. If you see a group of people in those police vests, they don't have uniforms, they don't have marked cars, but sometimes they'll be in a parking lot, and that means they're staging something. So if you see that, call, right? If you see someone being taken, call that bird number, okay? So I think that's everything. Any questions?
Can you repeat the number?
Sure. 716-222-2190. They're on Instagram and Facebook as well. BIRD, B-I-R-D, Buffalo Immigrant and Refugee Defense.
Thank you. Wait a second. I'm going to chase you down.
We're getting used to this, Diane.
This is in response to the fact that after the meeting ends, everyone comes to me and says, who do I talk to? And I say, So there you go. Kathy Pattison, who is part of Main Street Movement, but is now the owner of Signs of Fascism, which, by the way, doesn't have an H in it. I just threw that in for good measure.
Hi, everybody. I'm Kathy Pattison from Main Street Movement. We're proud to take on the holders of the Signs of Fascism and soon to be Signs of Democracy. We're going to vote. As you drive in today, you witnessed the Signs of Fascism, and you did see the full experience. You didn't see the full experience. The main objective is to have people holding those signs in uniform or partial uniform, and it's very empowering. For those who have seen the signs of protest, sign holders stand dressed all in black, holding black signs with stark white text. There's no shouting, no chanting, just powerful, silent line that stops people in their tracks and makes them face the warning signs of authoritarianism head on. It is a quiet protest, but it carries immense weight, and now we are ready to take it even further. We're organizing a series of these high-impact pop-up visual demonstrations, and we need you to stand with us. Here is where we're going next. As our movement grows, we are introducing a side-by-side contrast to signs of democracy. Imagine the visual power of this online. One side, volunteers dressed all in black, holding the warning signs of fascism. On the other side, stark, hopeful contrast, volunteers dressed in white shirts and jeans, holding white signs with bold black writing that shows exactly what a healthy, living, thriving democracy looks like. The contrast will speak for itself. To make this happen, we need you. For our Signs of Fascism actions, we need about 16 volunteers per 1 hour event. While we bring the signs of democracy side by side, we'll need 32 volunteers to hold the line. We know your time's valuable, so we'll make this completely flexible. We do not have to commit to every single event. We operate on a fast response text alert system. When a 1 hour pop-up is scheduled, we text our details. If you feel free for that hour, join us. If not, you can catch the next one. And if inclement weather hits, we postpone. 1 hour, stand in black or stand in white and deliver a message that cannot be ignored. If you're ready to lend your presence, stand in silent solidarity and show our community what's at stake, sign up on our next text list today. Let's make our democracy stay visible. There is a protest that we were asked to do this Thursday at Goodrich Road at their
It's the GOP Clarence picnic. And I will just jump in. I was part of this last year. This was most entertaining. So if Thursday finds your schedule wide open, please join us because they were there's some shock and awe as this entire group is out there outside of the park as they're coming in for their picnic with signs. And we got a lot of beeps and thumbs up. So we're repeating it. They keep having their picnic. We keep showing them.
And I truly feel if the signs of fascism are there, in their black, it will be a statement that they will not like. But that's good. That's good. So it's at 5400 Woodbridge Road, Clarence, New York. Come over to see me if you're interested. We've got, basically we got everything we need. We're gonna order what we don't need and hopefully, pretty sure we'll have it by then. But please, come over to see me and sign up.
Oh,
Please
Now
ask
they-
a question. Can you shout it or do I need to come?
No, as far as the picnic, I understood that we were gonna be there before they come
Yes.
in at 4 o'clock?
4 o'clock.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then that's afterwards?
No, yeah. I thought you said 6
No, 4 to,
I'm sorry.
4 to 7.
4 to 5, we're gonna stand with.
Yeah, we're just
Yeah, we're
standing
just-
out there while they're coming in.
Okay.
We are not joining the picnic. Although, I'm not a Clarence resident, so I stand out there on the public area. But some of our Clarence residents decided to march through the park past them. That was lovely too.
Thank you.
If you are a resident of Clarence, by all means, exercise your legal rights.
Any other questions?
Now, signs of fascism will go from 4 to 5. The
Right.
protest can go as long as you want after that.
Yes. Most of us will just greet them on the way in and then go about our daily business. Yeah, have a seat. They nothing unworthy in the packet. Okay. Moving along, I just amused myself with all these stories. All right, Ted, come on up. Ted's going to talk about the Peace Center and Power to the People. Any bonus sign?
This is me. Come talk to me afterward. Before I share my thing, I actually want to share a little story. My wife Kate and I were in a yard a couple weeks ago. This woman and a man and woman couple were walking by. The woman was really excited. Oh, I've been meaning to talk to you. Oh, I'm so glad I saw you. What's going on? So she saw that we had, she said a Joe Rivera, but a John Rivera sign in her yard. And she said that she and her husband were walking one morning and they saw that, John Rivera, who's that? She went home and looked them up, and she actually made a big point of saying, and that's why I went home and that's it. When the election came up for state senator, she voted for John Rivera. And she said, when I saw that it was in your yard, I actually went home, researched it, because otherwise she would have voted for Zellner. And so we do have a couple signs in our yard. We've got like a Love Thy Neighbor sign, we've got a No Data Center sign, we hang like Canadian flags, Ukrainian flags, all these other things. So she called us the most liberal family in Kenmore. I don't think that's true. But the fact that the sign made a difference, and she was so excited about it. So why I'm saying this is not just to pat ourselves in the back, but to say, put your signs out. They do make a difference. I mean, it might not be a one-for-one, it might be just one vote, but it might also be a lot more. My take on it is that when people do start seeing the signs all over the place, it shifts things. So actually, hopefully shifting to the left. So don't be afraid to do it. I mean, and I know everybody lives in a different neighborhood. There's some places that aren't that tolerant. Do what you can, but it can really make a difference. So just wanted to share that. Otherwise, I've got two quick things. One is I do have flyers for the Bridge Brigade with the URL on it, so if you don't remember it, then go do that. We recently rebuilt the site, so it should actually be updating automatically when the next event is coming up. So check it out, wnybb.org. The other thing I want to talk about a little bit bigger is Power of the People and Peace Center have a bunch of things coming up. Now, the biggest thing that for me is that Power of the People does is peacekeepers. These are marshals that basically attend protests and other events. We were recently at some Burmese festivals in Buffalo, and we just are there to make sure, keep an eye on things, make sure things are going. There's some training coming up. If anybody is even remotely interested in becoming a peacekeeper, see me. I've got a QR code you can scan and go learn about that. We also do have some medical training, first aid training coming up. There's a bunch of different sessions. Peacekeeper training is the 29th, and then there's another one September 8th. And first aid training, next one is tomorrow, and the one after that is September 6th. So it's a lot of dates, a lot of info. Stop by, I've got QR codes, you can scan it for the website, or if you're taking notes, wnypeace.org, that's their website, they've got all sorts of stuff there. You don't have to write this one down, just keep it in the back of your mind that the Peace Center is going to have a fundraiser October 3rd. It's $150 a seat. If you can't do that, you want to still make a donation, that's cool, but all that information is on their site. So I've got the signs. There's even the URL if you want to just write it down. Any questions? Cool. All right. Thank you.
Thanks, Ted. We cover a pretty wide geography in this room. And while the room isn't completely packed, it's usually pretty full. And we have people from as far north as Niagara Falls and Lockport, and we have people that all the way down to the Pennsylvania border, and even people that come in from Batavia, that area. So this is a central repository for all the information that you can get with all of the resistance movement. And hopefully we're providing a good service for you. I want to add that very soon our website will be up. We are on Blue Sky now, but mostly entertaining things that make me laugh in the middle of the night. But there will be information on all these events and links to all of them from the Firewall position. So So next is Monica from Stand Up Lockport. There you are. Oh no, I forgot your sign. Stand up. You gotta say it's for me. There you go. Sit down, Lockport. Here you go. Close to your mouth.
Hi, I'm Monica C. from Lockport, Stand Up Lockport. I just wanted to thank, first of all, everybody who helped us out with our August 8th conversations along the canal. We had League of Women Voters, Main Street was down there, and Good Neighbors was there, and I'm sure I'm missing something, but thank you all for helping out. Oh, Aflo United Coalition. Okay, first of all, I want to say we're having a town hall on September 8th. I'm sorry, 9th. At 7 o'clock in Lockport at the Keenan Center Taylor Theater. It's 433 Locust Street, and it is regarding NYSEG. Everybody's invited. It is on our website, Stand Up Lockport. There's 2 Stand Up Lockports. Please look at the site that has the canal on it. And bring your NYSEG bills if you have NYSEG, and even if you don't have NYSEG and you've got National Grid, still welcome, because the bills are outrageous and something's not right. We have people who have bills of $1,000 for 1 month. So there's that. And the other thing is, I just wanted to talk about, maybe someone's here regarding this, Save Our Backyards. It's in Niagara Falls, and it's regarding the radiation there. We have water radiation in Lockport, so we're sympathetic. And we're actually having the group come to our meeting on the Monday, the 24th. So if you want to come to our meeting, the 24th of August, it's at the UCC Church at 80 Main Street in Lockport. And they're coming to talk about the radiation that's there and what's going to go on from there. So, let's see. Oh, homeowners. Maybe you know about this too. New York Fight Against AI Centers. It's in also Niagara Falls. And there's going to be a meeting on that on Saturday, August 22nd. And if you want more information about that, I can give it to you. Am I forgetting anything?
I think that's it.
Okay.
Is it, this says 6 o'clock.
Yes, it's actually 7. I misspoke.
Okay.
Yeah. But I have it here, it's 7.
That's the 22nd.
The 22nd is New York Fights Deep AI
Oh, is
Deep
it,
Space.
it's this one, okay.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, is that what you're talking
Yeah,
about?
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
great.
just want to make sure.
And I think, no, thank you, wrong. Okay, thank you.
I'm getting used to these signs eventually. Jill, bring your sign. Come on up. Jill is our postcard queen. And she has more
I think we should have had tea.
Yes, I am always taking donations. I am also always giving out postcards. This is crunch time, people, those of you who can and will write postcards. Talk to your friends, see if you can get them to write postcards. Also, we have plenty of postcards. I have postcards to hand out at the end of all of the people who are talking and everything else that they do. Come see me or I will track you down. For those of you who took postcards from me last month, if you have brought them this month to give back, I am very appreciative. If you haven't, you can bring them back at the next meeting. So please stay in touch. I do deliver. If you find a group of happy postcard writing people, I will bring the postcards to them. Any questions?
Do you have some examples of your postcards? Like, what kind of postcards?
They're just very simple postcards. They are get out the vote. These are organized by Organize for Action. There is a local branch, Organize for Action Western New York, which is also affiliated with Indivisible nationally. We are also in some way connected with Good Neighbors Getting It Done. And yes? Did that help?
Well, I think sometimes we forget that not everybody knows everything.
I'm glad to answer questions. Any other questions? Okay.
I will say this about the postcards. Generally, she gets a list of registered Democrats or independents, and you are writing postcards to encourage them to vote. So we're trying to reduce the apathy on the resistance side and get people to come out. So this is really important because, I mean, I've done postcards halfway across the country to people I will never meet and don't know, but the handwritten ability is what makes it not junk mail, so it helps. Okay, a new speaker today, Diane Hinman, is with Veterans for Peace and Buffalonians for Peace. A lot of peace going on. And she's going to talk to us about nuclear sites in New York State. There you go. Wow. Here we go.
Hi, I'm Diane Hinman. I'm a member of the local chapter of Veterans for...
Put the microphone real
Is that better?
Yeah.
I'm a local member of Veterans for Peace and also Buffalonians for Peace. We have been working with the Muslim mosque. But I'm here today, probably unbeknownst to maybe most of us, surreptitiously, I didn't say that right, but in June, Governor Hochul made a proposal, it's now called a motion, to gigantically expand in a very experimental way the nuclear sites in New York State. There's going to be either 5 large light water, which are the big ones, reactors, or there's going to be 17 smaller modular reactors. Now, let me tell you, this part of Western New York, we have targets on our back because in all the analysis, it's cheaper to put these reactors on brownfields. And they'll say, oh, well, you already have pollution. It's not that big a deal. So anyways, what we'd like you to do is, like I have an outline of, we need a response. And because it was such a poor proposal, the industry itself extended the comment period until September 24th. And it's very simple if you want to comment. And again, I have materials here, but we are also, that will give you an outline of just the dangers. SMRs are completely experimental. We've had this technology since, the 40s. And why hasn't anything been put into place? And why have we heard nothing but failures from Fukushima to 3 Mile Island? Recently in Georgia, there's going to be, first of all, there's a safety concern, and there's going to be a cost overrun, and if equity hasn't, private investors haven't gone in yet, it's because it's not that viable. But it seems to people who've analyzed the proposal that us, New York State taxpayers, are going to be responsible for the cost overruns. Now, we know that they're cutting Pell, TAP, handicap rights, medical. She's saving up for this experiment, and I can give you more documents and sites if you want to know just how experimental that this kind of expansion is. But we have some materials here, but I know you're familiar with Burning Books. September 2nd at 7 p.m., Dr. Tammy Milalo, who's known for her work in the Tonawanda Coke site settlement, and has also been working with Roswell Park, and she's a bioengineer doctor. She's going to be presenting. I'll be there. Russ and Rachel will be there. And what we really need is your response to this. And, you know, again, if you need to be updated, I certainly am just scratching the surface. But if you go onto your computers and type in NYSERDA, I think you might be all familiar with NYSERDA, and then put advanced nuclear energy, what should pop up is a site that not only, the proposal itself is 90 plus pages, plus a lot of the information is in the appendices. And let me tell you, people have been analyzed this, it's very vague. They can't give us any idea what the cost overruns will be. And there you'll see at the end of where you can download the materials, post comments. So it can be done very simply at your home. And again, if you're like me, you were starting from scratch, learning LLR reactors from SMR reactors, but we have materials that will help you. And I'm going to say just one of the biggest dangers is, I have an outline from the Union of Concerned Nuclear Scientists. I just want to leave with this comment that any community that accepts a nuclear reactor must be prepared to become a de facto permanent storage site for its nuclear waste, for its nuclear lifespan. And currently, U.S. has no program for developing a deep underground repository to dispose of the type of waste, even small SMRs. Eventually, after 2 to 5 years, their cores are spent. So this is what we're facing. This is just some of the dangers. The children in particular are at risk. So again, if you have any questions, I'll be sitting there, and we hope to see you, if you can make it, September 2nd at Burning Books at 7 o'clock.
Okay. Lori Robinson is here from the League of Women Voters. I can't think of a more important group to talk to us as we get into the season. You brought your sign.
Not personalized yet. Hi, everybody. It's so wonderful to see all these incredible, energetic people that are willing to help us all save democracy. As you know, the League of Women Voters has been registering voters, has been our pretty much main mission, and educating people for the last 107 years. I often say, though, we got to work harder, because we shouldn't be in this position if we had been working hard for 107 years. But anyway, we're working really hard now. So I just really wanted to take this opportunity. You're all getting a really upfront sneak peek, save the date on a program that we're having on October 20th. It's going to be at the Buffalo History Museum, and it's free and open to the public. But we're going to have a Get Out the Vote. The name of the program, working title right now, is Democracy Lab 250. So we're going to talk about the history of voting rights. We're going to have like 3 stations, a keynote speaker, food trucks, games, prizes, and one of the biggest things we're going to be doing that night is honoring our poll workers. It's also National Poll Worker Day. So if you and everybody you know that's poll workers, we're going to try to get the list and send out an invite to everybody, but we really would like you to come so that we can honor you all as poll workers with a little gift from the League. Did I say food trucks? Yeah, so there's going to be a little bit of everything for everybody. So that's...
And the date again and time?
It's Tuesday, October 20th from 5 to 9. Games, prizes, food, and voting information. So we really would love you to all join us. And as always, we'll be everywhere, tabling. Anybody needs us to come out and bring anything, just give us a call. I'll have some cards and I've got a few stickers over here too. So thank you all for having us, and I look forward to working with you all more. We're gonna get this done.
I believe there are voter registration forms out in the entranceway, so grab them if you know anyone, particularly in young people who are a little apathetic about voting, please come.
I have a question. Is the League of Women Voters going to do anything to kind of have people double check that they are registered before?
Well, that, I was just gonna say, we do have, and I'll have some cards here too, we've got a QR code for Vote 411, and what we're doing is encouraging everybody, whether you think you're registered and haven't moved in the last 50 years, check your registration this year. Check it now, check it before you go to vote. You know, not that I don't trust anybody, but we all know that nowadays, with the push of a finger, anything can happen on the computer. So we're just really, really encouraging everybody to, you know, double check their registration, make sure that no hanky-panky, see that little active, and we're good to go.
Thank you.
We are closing in on the end of our meeting, but we do have a guest speaker today, and our last 5-minute person here is Jen from Braver Angels. I will also mention that at about 10:30, a group is coming in to work on a democracy quilt. And that is going to be auctioned off, I believe, for Airbnbs. Is that correct?
Yes.
Somebody, yes. So they'll be setting up at the close of our meeting.
Can I say one thing?
You can say all you, comes a
There's
story.
also, if anybody's an artist, we're gonna be doing a whole, if you can donate art, we're gonna be doing an auction for Airbnbs as well.
When is the auction? When?
It's online and I don't know.
We'll get back to you on that.
Gotta get the art first.
Hello, I'm Jen. I'm a volunteer with Braver Angels. Braver Angels is the nation's largest cross-partisan, secular, volunteer-led organization committed just to crossing the partisan divide. So we create structures and supports for people to talk to each other about political issues, and we will be hosting 3 events in the near future. On Tuesday, we're hosting a debate in the Village Center in the Village of Lancaster. If you know the area, it's where Save-A-Lot used to be. It's now a whole new building. Beginning at 7 p.m., we are debating term limits, and it sounds very boring, but Supervisor Chihuahua, Brian Nowak is coming. We've got Melissa Studley from the town of Lancaster. We have 2 UB professors and a variety of people coming to argue for and against term limits. On the 20th, we are doing a Zoom debate, and the way Braver Angels debates work is that it's called parliamentary debate. And we organize everything around a resolution. So the resolution for term limits is resolved. We should limit elected officials to a set number of terms. Sounds great in theory. One of the things that I learned is that it's considered a form of voter suppression. It is the government telling you who you can and cannot vote for, which I've never thought of that before. And that's one of the advantages of Braver Angels debates. On the 20th, the resolution is, let's debate. New York State communities should implement network surveillance like Flock. To which we all immediately go, I'm sorry, what? We're not going to be doing that. But what I would argue for folks in this room, I strongly advocate signing up for the online debate for 3 reasons. It's a chance to practice public speaking. It is a chance to say your piece about Flock. We can have a visceral response to Flock and not like it for a lot of reasons. This is a chance to organize your thinking and get 4 minutes where you can practice out loud why you don't like Flock. We just ask the people to respond to the resolution, and you say, no, New York State communities should not implement network surveillance, and here's why. The third reason is sometimes the reasons that people support Flock are very, very surprising. And a lot of times it's a personal thing. My friend was hit by a drunk driver. They used Flock to find the license plate. My car was broken into. If there hadn't been Flock, they never would have figured out who did it. So the reasons are oftentimes very, very personal. And it's a chance to hear from our fellow community members who hold very different views than we have. So I strongly advocate signing up. Even if you don't want to talk, you don't have to. So it goes 4 minutes, 4 minutes, 2 minutes, 2 minutes, and then 1 minute. Is the way the structures work. You cannot talk to each other. You can only talk to the chair. And it's a structured parliamentary debate. I've shared before, I participated one on abolish ICE. I walked in saying, fuck yeah, abolish ICE. I walked out saying, fuck yeah, abolish ICE. Did not change my mind. But I did hear a very compelling argument from an immigration attorney who said the abolishment of ICE will have a cataclysmic effect on the immigration system, making something that's terrible even worse. And he walked through all of the reasons why abolishing ICE would be bad. The third one we're doing is in a local one in Lancaster, which again is about FLOC. Let's debate network surveillance systems are a good use of taxpayer dollars. The first person I asked, who was a retired state trooper and a town board member, he agreed to be an in-person speaker and defend the proposition. So we will have Western New Yorkers who are going to come and say, yes, I agree with this. So I would strongly encourage you to consider signing up for the debates. We do actually have a red. Yay! If you've heard me speaking for a while now, you know we've always been looking for a red. We cannot be an official alliance until we have a red person, someone who identifies as conservatives, to step forward and say, yes, I'll be your co-chair. We have one. However, he's not willing to be a co-chair. And we sat down and we talked about it. He said, because I don't want people to think I'm MAGA. And I said, friend, I absolutely understand that. So we have reds who don't want to be publicly identified with red, with red hats and all of that, but they're still conservatives, they're still Republicans, and they're kind of negotiating all of that. So Braver Angels continues to move forward. These are our 3 events that we're going to do. The one on Tuesday is a test to see how well it goes. All of the QR codes lead to sign up. You do have to sign up online because we give priority to New York State speakers for the debate on the 20th and priority to local folks. So we just ask you to sign up. And you can also sign up to be an opening speaker, and we'll coach you through the process of being an opening speaker. Okay, any questions on Braver Angels? Okay.
I've been more than generous.
Oh, and I forgot my sign. Yeah, I'll never come back. I will hang my head today.
If anyone doesn't know you by now, then okay, I'm going to invite you to grab a cup of coffee, grab something to eat, because our next speaker is talking about something that's really near and dear to my heart. This is Bridge Route. And Bridge is from the Clean Air Coalition, and this is important stuff for us. So please, please bunker down and listen to what Bridge has to say.
Nice. Put myself in a time.
There's a clock right there.
Oh, yeah, good point. So yeah, my name is Bridge Rouch. I'm an organizer with the Clean Air Coalition in Western New York. I'm going to pass around some brochures and a sign-up form for anyone who wants to get more involved with us. So 1 sec here. Got too many papers. So just a quick show of hands here, use your fingers here. Scale of 1 to 5, 5 being you've been a member for 20 years, you've been at every single meeting, you know everything about us. 1, you've never heard of Clean Air. Could I just get a show, just put a finger up for where on that scale you find yourself? Okay, so I'm seeing a lot of 3s and 2s, some 4s. So just very briefly as an overview, we are a member-led community organization, about 20 years old. We got started with the Tonawanda Coke campaign, which I heard the name drop a little bit earlier about that. It was residents in the town Tonawanda, all Village Kenmore, other surrounding areas, who were looking around. They were saying something is making everybody very, very sick. We've got a lot of strange cancers, respiratory illnesses, all sorts of weird illnesses. And they started doing some organizing and citizen science as a tactic, for that organizing campaign. And ultimately, they identified Tonawanda Coke as the perpetrator, that was like emitting criminal amounts of benzene, which is a cancer-causing chemical. And from that one specific site campaign, we've done dozens of others. We mostly work in the Tonawanda, so that's Town of Tonawanda, City of Tonawanda, City of North Tonawanda, Village of Kenmore, and the Grand Island area, as well as City of Buffalo. But with this new data center campaign, we're officially changing our membership areas to all of the counties of Erie and Niagara County, but specifically the environmental justice areas. So these are folks who live next to a industrial facility, or where there was an industrial facility, or an industrial facility is being proposed. Is the basic idea of the communities. We also do so we call that fence line organizing. So you're organizing with folks along that fence line. We also do some what we call frontline organizing. So this is folks who are being affected first and worst by climate change. So we have a campaign. We were supposed to get $20 million to the City of Buffalo from the federal government under the Biden administration to work on climate resiliency in response to the 2022 blizzard. Day one of the Trump administration, that money went away, and we never got that. We haven't seen a penny of that grant that we worked so hard on. But we did get a private foundation funding to work on some frontline organizing with communities in Buffalo. So we have about a half dozen campaigns right now. We also doing a lot of rapid response work right now. So I heard Buffalo United, mentioned today. We were one of the we were and are one of the core organizations involved in that. My colleague Milo Lister is a new organizer, and they're specifically working on that particular work. We heard about Colvin Woods. Beginning of this year, Colvin Woods, the Border Patrol facility there, has been something that we've been monitoring, been troubled by for a long time. Beginning of this year, we said with the ramp up of the ICE, deportation efforts, we need to get eyes on this facility. We work with ARC, formerly Surge, a couple other groups that are just to get people going once a month outside that facility to just get people aware that people are being held in this facility right next to Kenny Park. So again, that as Carrie mentioned, that's going to be this Monday at 4:30, corner of Colvin Boulevard and Colvin Parkway at the northeast corner of Kenny Park, and we'd love to see you there. We also, something else to mention. We have an idle C4 arm. So we're a C3 organization. That means we can't do partisan campaigns. But we do have a C4 arm that it's kind of just been dormant for a while. If you're interested in doing some C4 work, in coalition with Clean Air, come talk to me later. We're working to get that back online. We'd love to talk with folks a bit more about that. And yeah, there's also, there's issues we work on, for folks in the North Towns, we work on just transition, so that's trying to preserve, unionized workforces while also focusing on, building a new economy. And in the North Towns right now, there's a lot of planning and zoning work that's happening right now that we'd love to get you plugged into and get you voicing that. And we also heard about Niagara Falls today. We're doing we've been building relationships in the Falls for a number of years now, and we've been working on some support work. We are member-led, so we can't say the folks in Niagara Falls need to be coming to us and saying we want you to be doing this, and we're having those conversations right now with folks. So that's just to flag Niagara Falls and Niagara County, there is a lot of environmental justice issues there, and it's rapidly coming to a head. There's going to be a lot of I think it's going to be in the national news pretty soon. Okay, but data centers. So going back, as I said, Tonawanda Coke was our very first campaign. We're still very much involved in fighting for the future of that site. And the site developer there in 2018, when that facility closed, announced that they want to do a data innovation center, which we were what the heck is that? What are they talking about? And so we've been, developing this data center campaign since 2018. 2021, the crypto mine opens in North Tonawanda. That is a data center, is what that is. And so we've been doing support work with residents there. And starting this year, like in May, we officially launched the full-fledged campaign about data centers for Erie and Madison County. Just broadly speaking, there's this literally touches on every aspect of our lives, this data center issue. It's everything from bad democratic practices at the local level, like a lack of transparency, to air emissions issues, to climate change, to just questions about how's our personal data being used. So I can't get into every single detail, but the things I want to flag is we talk about nuclear as a problem. What's happening with the data center build out is a build out of natural gas and even coal is what's happening. It's the transition away from coal has actually been starting to be reversed because of this data center build out across the country. So this is, as I mentioned, a major issue related to climate change. It's also very much a major issue related to these environmental justice communities that were already facing a lot of environmental burdens from existing industry. Now they're getting these air emission issues from coal and gas being burned in their communities. So there's we're fighting on multiple fronts here. And here in Western New York, we have been kind of at the forefront of a lot of the data center issues. There's been data centers, to be clear, for about 100 years, of some way, shape, or form. Back in the 1930s, you had these room-sized computers. At that time, it was people actually it was women who were good with crocheting. They were the very early that's the very earliest computers. Was yeah, you got it. It's plugging in. Yeah. So it was that we've had these room-sized computers or warehouse-sized computers for an age. What's happened in the last 10 years, though, is it went from these. It used to be you go to a college campus or a hospital campus, and there was a room on the campus where there was a bunch of computers, just there for all the operations on that campus. Now these things are industrial operations. There was one that's been stopped in Utah, but that one was going to be 3 times the size of Manhattan, that particular data center. There's a data center being built in Texas by Amazon that'll be the single largest point source emitter of pollution across the entire United States. It's going to have more emissions than most countries, just as one facility. Here in Western New York, I mentioned Tonawanda. The developer there wants to build a 300 megawatt data center. There's other data centers, like I mentioned, one at North Tonawanda. There's some in the city of Buffalo. There's a bunch in Niagara Falls, either operating or under development. All told, we're talking about 2 gigawatts of projects that are being proposed or are operating already within Erie and Niagara County. So we've been, as I mentioned, we've been organized around this for a while. We are pushing local municipalities pass a local moratorium for 20 megawatts and larger, pass zoning amendments, and also, just you look at different ordinances they can be doing. So noise ordinances is a good leverage point. Some municipalities have just straight up banned these things because they're this does not make sense for our community, especially more in rural communities. Town of Dryden has put a full-on ban on hyperscale data centers above 20 megawatts. So just looking at what makes sense for your community, is the conversation we have right now with your local legislators. Governor Hochul did follow the executive order, followed the Responsible Data Centers passage with an executive order, which is great, but we really want to see that bill pass the finish line. So Saturday the 22nd, Senator Gonzalez, who is the sponsor of the Responsible Data Centers Act on the Senate side, is going to be coming through Erie and Niagara County. We're going to be leading her on a tour. She's doing a statewide push all across data center communities all across the state. We're going to have 2 town halls that would encourage everyone to come to and please share this. One is going to be in Buffalo at Trinity Church. That's 371 Delaware Avenue, and that'll be at 11:30 a.m. And the second one is going to be in Niagara Falls, and that's going to be at 7 o'clock, and that'll be at the Doris Jones Resource Center. So we've got these flyers, we can pass these around. And I also have little flyers here with some actions you can take right now. Join Clean Air is one of them, whether it's getting involved in this campaign or any of the other campaigns we currently have. There's contacting the developer of Tonawanda. So there's been a lot of understandable ire directed at local officials around this issue, but it's ultimately the developer who's pushing this. And we need to be putting pressure on that developer to get them to change how they want to use that site moving forward. We're fighting for renewable energy at that site. We want to see solar and battery storage at this industrial facility. It's like, it makes so much sense. So that's what we're pushing for there. And we do want to, again, like, thank Governor Hochul for signing the executive order, but push her, to take further action. Sign that bill and, like, work with community organizations in developing frameworks, across the state. And also, 1 year is not going to be enough. We're going to need, like, this executive order and, like, extended for at least a few years in order to actually do what we want to see happen. So we can pass those around too. I know I'm at 10 minutes, so I'm going to wrap up here. Let's see. We got a few lawn signs. I only brought a few today, but if anyone wants a lawn sign, those are free. Please take them. Please plug into our campaigns, whether it's the data center campaign or any of the various environmental justice campaigns. There's a monumental amount of talent and that I've heard today, and we could use things like Bridge Brigade, amplifying like our messaging. We could, like there's a number of the efforts here that have like a lot of kismet, with like a lot of campaigns that we have that we could definitely use that support, within our campaign work. Get out the vote, what happens in November is gonna change the ground that we're fighting on. So please make sure we're getting our neighbors out to vote. And let's see, and also one other thing for local level electeds is asking them to send a letter to the governor. So it's one thing for each of us, it's important for each of us to be sending postcards, to be contacting the governor individually. It does carry a little bit of weight though if it's someone else that she has to be meeting with her other work who's telling her, you need to sign this bill. You need to get you need to be taking more, this is great that you did this executive order. We need you to keep going, though. That's not enough. I think I'll stop there. It's happy to answer any questions. Again, please join Clean Air. It's, if you make a donation, you are a member, is the way we have our framework. And again, there's a sign-up sheet and brochures right here as well.
At all with the water keepers and in terms of, one of the reasons that they like this is because they think we have all this water. We can use the pool to put stuff down, both for, Ontario and do you work with them?
Yeah, very much so. Our executive director, Chris Morosky, actually worked at Waterkeeper for 15 years before coming to Clean Air. So we have a lot of relationships with them. They have not been as involved in the data center fight. It's something we've been talking to them about. And the water issue is interesting. It's very specifically the thing to be looking at is the evaporative chillers, is the phrase. So these are the big towers that you can see just steaming off a lot of water. Closed loop does, it's not zero, use of water the way that the developers will say, but it is a very little amount of water. The problem is when it's also with the evaporative chillers. That's where the big amount of water is used. And with the closed loop cooling, it uses less water. It doesn't make the noise that the crypto mines do, but it does have its own set of issues. Specifically, what is the chemical that's being used for the cooling? That sometimes is PFAS containing chemicals. Most of the times it's an ammonia-based chemical. So that creates issues of workplace safety, making sure that the workers are being protected against any gases they might breathe in. It's making sure that there's a spill protection plan, so if one of those pipes does crack, it's contained and isn't going to create issues. So every one of these data centers, they're all, because there's no regulations. There's no regulations on this right now. Because there's no regulations in place, every data center project right now looks different and it's going to have its own set of unique problems and issues that we got to be figuring out. So,
thank you so much. Before we conclude, a couple of things. Though we meet in the church, we are completely separate from the Unitarian Universalist Church. We are renters here. So if you are so moved to give us a donation, this is how we pay the rent so we can continue to meet here as well. And I also wanted to take a moment to thank Les at the camera, who he is not taking pictures of you, he's only taking pictures of the speakers and putting it up on YouTube. So it's Western New York umbrella for Firewall. So we'll have links for that with the new website as well. And I also wanted to thank Lorraine. Lorraine, wave your hand. Lorraine is with the UU Justice Advocacy Team and also works with our Rainbow Cafe, which we meet here. And she does the slideshow at the beginning. It's always so entertaining and fun. I wanted to say thank you. And I also wanted to say that next month we are trying very hard to do a Meet Your Candidates event here for Firewall. In order to see everyone, but hopefully we can have it in a more informal setting here. So start thinking now about questions you might have for your representatives. And it could be anyone from dog catcher to governor, so we'll let them all in. Thanks so much for being a part of this. This group really is all about the resistance in Western New York, and I personally want to thank each and every one of you for everything you do to make it happen. Thank you.
Come sign up for the bridges. You want to speak? I'm over here.
Dick Dice petition right here.